Today we're taking a look at these UFC matches: Nicholas Stoles vs Mauner Lazes, Ryan Benoit vs Eric Adeshev, Ronnie Lawrence vs Trevin Jones, and Uriah Hall vs Sean Strickland, which are happening on Saturday, July 31st, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. In his last appearance in the octagon, Nicholas Stoles fought Ramazan Emeev and wound up walking away in defeat via unanimous decision in round 3. Emeev ended up landing 67 of 114 of the strikes he let go in total for this contest. Stoles walked away from this fight having landed 41 of 85 total strikes. When talking about significant strikes, Emeev ended up landing 29 of 67, which means his percentage was 43%. He ended up landing 22 of 59 significant strikes directed at the head. On the other side of the cage, Stoles ended up landing 41% of his significant strikes by landing 30 of 72. Looking at the significant strike accuracy, he connected on 13 of 42 aimed at the head. 65% of the significant strikes connected on by Emeev and 90% of them connected on by Stoles were done at a distance. In the last fight for Mauner Lazes, he squared up with Warlley Alves and was defeated by a kick to the body in round 1. Alves ended up landing 41% of his significant strikes at distance, and Lazes connected on 0% of his significant strikes at distance. Lazes connected on 100% of the significant strikes he attempted by connecting on 2 of 2. He landed 1 of 1 significant strikes directed at the head. Alves ended up landing 17 of 21 significant strikes in that battle. Out of all the significant strikes thrown, he ended up connecting on 9 of 12 directed at the head. Relating to total strikes that he let go in that contest, Alves landed 24 of 30, while Lazes was 2 of 2 of all the strikes he threw. My betting advice for that match is to pick Nicholas Stoles. In his previous bout, Ryan Benoit went up against Tim Elliott and walked away in defeat by unanimous decision in round 3. Elliott ended up landing 90 of 193 of the strikes he let go in total for this contest. Benoit ended the night having landed 64 of 131 total strikes. In regard to significant strikes, Elliott landed 67 of 169, which means his percentage was 39%. He ended up landing 31 of 100 significant strikes directed at the head. On the other side of the octagon, Benoit landed 45% of his significant strikes by sticking 55 of 122. Of those significant strikes, he connected on 39 of 97 to the head. 65% of the significant strikes connected on by Elliott and 85% of them landed by Benoit were thrown at distance. In the last fight for Eric Adeshev, he went up against Su Mudaerji and was defeated via unanimous decision in round 3. Mudaerji landed 100% of the significant strikes he attempted at distance, and Adeshev ended up connecting on 85% of the significant strikes he attempted at distance. Adeshev landed 22% of his significant strikes attempted by landing 28 of 123. He connected on 20 of 102 significant strikes aimed at the head. Mudaerji ended up landing 50 of 127 significant strikes in that contest. Out of those significant strikes, he ended up connecting on 22 of 87 to the head. When discussing the strikes he fired off in this contest, Mudaerji was 50 of 127 and Adeshev was 28 of 123 total strikes. In the wrestling category, Ryan Benoit is the more efficient wrestler as he takes his opponents down 0.33 times per 15 minutes. Benoit is finishing his takedown attempts on 25% of his tries and thwarting 70% of the takedowns his opponents try. Adeshev is finishing his takedown tries on 20% of the takedowns he tries and is defending 40% of all takedowns attempted by his opposition. Regarding sub attempts, Benoit is the more skilled of the two fighters by going for 0.5 submissions per 3 RDS, while Adishev attempts 0.3 submissions per 3 rounds. When talking about significant strikes, Ryan Benoit connects on 2.95 per min, while Zarek Adishev is landing 1.93 significant strikes per min. Benoit lands 41% of the significant strikes he attempts, and Adishev lands 23%. Concerning their defense in the octagon, Babyface takes 3.40 significant strikes per min, and the Lion absorbs 3.35. Benoit also thwarts 60% of the significant strikes his opponents attempt, while Adishev thwarts 60% of the shots thrown in his direction. My betting advice for that match is to pick Ryan Benoit. Ryan Benoit fails weigh-in, pulled from UFC Fight Night card over dehydration concerns. In his last appearance in the octagon, Ronnie Lawrence squared up with Vince Cachero and ended up getting the victory in the fight by way of a punch to the head while on the ground in round 3. Cachero landed 23 of 55 total strikes that he let go in that contest. Lawrence finished this fight landing 102 of 151 total strikes. In terms of significant strikes, Cachero landed 15 of 46, giving him a percentage of 32%. He landed 8 of 36 significant strikes directed at the head. In terms of stats for the opponent, Lawrence ended up landing 63% of the significant strikes he threw by landing 77 of 121. In regard to the placement of these significant strikes, he landed 53 of 89 aimed at the head. 66% of the significant strikes connected on by Cachero, and 28% of them landed by Lawrence, were tallied at distance. In the last octagon appearance for Trevin Jones, he went up against Mario Bautista and took home the win by a punch to the head in round 2. Bautista landed 76% of the significant strikes he tried at a distance, while Jones landed 73% of the significant strikes he attempted from distance. Jones ended up landing 76% of his significant strikes attempted by connecting on 23 of 30. He ended up connecting on 11 of 18 significant strikes directed at the head. Bautista ended up connecting on 21 of 42 significant strikes in that fight. Out of those significant strikes, he landed 11 of 27 to the head. In relation to total strikes that he let go, Bautista ended up landing 43 of 64 and Jones ended up landing 36 of 44 of all the strikes he attempted. Concerning significant strikes, Ronnie Lawrence is landing 3.80 per min, while Trevin Jones connects on 3.84 significant strikes per minute. My betting advice for that match is to pick Ronnie Lawrence. In his last bout, Uriah Hall squared up with Chris Weidman and wound up getting the victory by a broken leg by Weidman in round 1. It was quite a twist of fate as Chris Weidman was on the receiving end of something he did to Anderson Silva years ago. In the last fight for Sean Strickland, he fought Krzysztof Jotko and wound up getting the victory via unanimous decision in round 3. Jotko connected on 100% of the significant strikes he attempted at distance, and Strickland landed 100% of the significant strikes he attempted from distance. My betting advice for that match is to pick Uriah Hall. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.